So we're shooting for 19.
We're shooting for 19. 50.
I don't know about that.
Well, we have 10 minutes of comment on Brad's suit, so.
He's a barker at a carnival.
Tell people they have to adjust their TV.
Leanne, aren't you responsible for making sure that he doesn't, No. You did not advise him to wear that, right?
Okay.
Okay, it's almost time.
Okay. Hello. Good evening, everyone. My name is Brad Gottschall. I am the Lower Paxton Township Manager, and in typical fashion, I will give a brief summary of tonight's board agenda, particularly for the benefit of those who may be watching at home. Consistent with the second-class Township Code, tonight's agenda begins with the Township meeting to perform its statutory requirements of reorganizing. During this portion, the board will elect officers of the organization, including a chairman, vice chair, secretary, treasurer, and assistant secretary and treasurer. It will then appoint various professional staff and members of a litany of boards and commissions. During the business portion of the meeting, under new business, the board will consider action to retroactively ratify a declaration of local disaster emergency pertaining to the December 16th snowstorm. Next, listed as agenda item 3F2, the board will entertain resolution 21-01, appointing Brown, Schultz, Sheridan, and Fritz as the township's certified public accountant. The board will then entertain action on an annual junkyard license renewal. And finally, before acting on improvement guarantees and the payment of township and authority bills, the board will take action on a preliminary and final subdivision plan for the Autumn Oaks Development Phase 4. And with all that said, the members of the board are seated and prepared to conduct business. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Gottschall. We'll call this meeting of the Lower Paxton Township Board of Supervisors to order. Please stand, and Supervisor Navarro will lead us in the pledge. To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now I will turn the meeting over to Solicitor Stein as the Chairman Pro Tem to begin the organizational meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Henry. Next item on the agenda is the election of Chairman of the Board. Are there any nominations with regard to election of the Chairman of the Board?
Yes, Mr. Solicitor, I move that we elect Loman Henry as Chairman of the Board of Supervisors.
Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second that.
Are there any further nominations? Seeing none, all those in favor of electing Loman Henry as Chairman of the Board, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Congratulations, Mr. Henry.
Thank you. Thank you, board members. I appreciate the opportunity to continue in this role for another year. Very honored by that. We will now move for the election of a vice chairperson of the Board of Supervisors.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we nominate Robin Lindsay as vice chair.
The name of Robin Lindsay has been motioned for vice chair. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Mrs. Lindsay, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
We now need to elect a secretary of the Board of Supervisors. Is there a nomination?
Mr. Chairman, I would like to place the name of Chris Judd for secretary.
Supervisor Judd has been nominated for secretary of the board. Is there a second?
A second.
Moved and seconded. Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We now move to the election of a treasurer of the board.
Mr. Chairman, I nominate Norm Zumas as the treasurer of the board.
Supervisor Zumas has been nominated for treasurer of the board. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded. Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. We need to elect an Assistant Secretary Treasurer for the Board.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we nominate Paul Navarro, Assistant Secretary Treasurer of the Board.
The name of Supervisor Paul Navarro has been placed in nomination for Secretary Treasurer. Is there a second?
A second?
Moved and seconded. Are there any additional nominations? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. We need to appoint a vacancy board chairman, and the nominee is Daniel Mosel. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we appoint Dan Mosel as the vacancy board chair.
Second.
It's moved and seconded to appoint Dan Mosel as the vacancy board chair. Are there any other nominations? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We need to appoint a township manager.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to appoint the law firm of Stephen A. Stein.
no.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong thing, sorry. I looked at the wrong line.
He's right there.
Sorry, Brad,
You
I'm
can't miss
sorry.
him.
We're probably blinded by the light. Yeah,
Mr. Chairman,
yes, sir.
I move that we appoint Bradley Gottschalk, Township Manager.
It's been moved that we appoint Bradley Gottschall as township manager. Is there a second?
Second that?
Any other nominations? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Congratulations. And now we will appoint a solicitor for Lower Paxton Township.
I'm sorry, I was in the wrong line.
That's okay.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to appoint the law office of Stephen A. Stein for our solicitor for the township of Lower Paxton, please.
So moved. Is there a second? Second. Moved and seconded. Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We now need to appoint a township engineer.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we nominate Herbert Rolling and Grubik to be our township engineer again.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Herbert, Roland, and Grubik have been nominated for township engineer. Are there any other nominees? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. We need to appoint a representative to the Council of Governments. Robin Lindsay would be the nominee. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we appoint Robin Lindsay to that position.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We also need to appoint an alternate to the COG, and Norm Zumas is the nominee. Is there a motion?
I'll move to appoint Norm Zumas.
Norm Zumas has been motioned. Is there a second?
I'll
Second.
second.
Second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We need to appoint a voting delegate to the Pennsylvania State Association of Township Supervisors. Robin Lindsay is the nominee. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we appoint Robin Lindsay to be a voting delegate at the PSATS.
So
Second.
moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Second?
Moved and seconded. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Aye. We need to appoint an alternate to PSATs. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I would like to nominate Norman Zumas as the alternate to PSATs.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. We need to appoint a representative to the Dauphin County Tax.
Collection Committee.
Thank you. Tim Houck has been nominated as our representative. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move to nominate Tim Houck to the position as stated.
So moved. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
We need an alternate for DCTCC. Is there, Chris Judd is the nominee. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We now need to make a number of appointments to various township boards and commissions. We will begin with the Arts Council. The nominees are Pat Crawford, Sandra McKeon, Grace Newsom, Lori Rogers, and Stan Smith. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve those individuals as stated.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second?
Moved and seconded. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
We need to appoint an audit committee. The nominees are Chris Judd, Robin Lindsay, and Bradley Godshall. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we appoint those individuals as stated to the audit committee.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, we now need to move on to the Community Engagement Committee. We have nominations of Pat Crawford, Denise Hassar, and Jim Seidler. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we appoint the names read onto the Community Engagement Committee.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
We need to make a appointment of 3 people to the Greenway Committee. Those 3 individuals would be Susan Landau, Jim Seidler, and Catherine Scheib. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve those individuals as stated.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, aye? Aye. We need to make appointments to the Historical Commission, including Denise Daimler, David Doyle, Donald Goss, Chrissy Kessler, William Minsker, and Robert Thomas. Is there a motion?
So moved.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, aye? We have 2 appointments to make to the Lower Paxton Township Authority Board. The nominees for 5-year terms are Norman Zumas and Robert Oakes. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we appoint the 2 names for the Lower Paxton Township Authority Board.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
We need to appoint 3 individuals to the Lower Paxton Township Planning Commission. The nominees are Everett Hamilton, Sandra Bloom, and Kurt Meckes. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I would like to make a motion that we appoint the 3 names to the Planning Commission.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
A number of appointments need to be made to the Public Safety Committee, and these will be made by virtue of position, including the Colonial Park Fire Company Chief, the Linglestown Fire Company Chief, the Paxtonia Fire Company Chief, the Emergency Operations Director, the Fire Marshal, the Colonial Park Fire Company President, the Linglestown Fire Company President, the Paxtonia Fire Company President, the Public Safety Director, and a representative from South Central EMS. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to accept the 10 positions as laid out for Public Safety Committee.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. We have 2 appointments to make to the Shade Tree Commission. They would be Carl Valley and Richard Wayne. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we appoint the 2 names to the Shade Tree Commission.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
We have 2 appointments to make and an alternate to the Zoning Hearing Board. The appointments are David Dowling and Alan Hassan, and the alternate would be Ronald Reeder. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to accept or to appoint the 3 individuals as laid out to the Zoning Hearing Board.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
It is time to establish a treasurer's bond in the amount of $1 million. Would somebody make the motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the $1 million portion as stated.
The $1 million treasurer's bond?
Yes.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
We also need to designate S&T Bank as the township depository.
So moved.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
And finally, we need to establish the Board of Supervisors meeting schedule, which will be the first 3 Tuesdays of each month, except for election days, when we will meet on Wednesdays, and holidays. Is there a motion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the Board of Supervisors meeting schedule.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Thank you, board members. We now need to move on to the business agenda. And the business agenda will begin with the approval of minutes of the October 6, 2020 budget and business meetings. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the minutes for the October 6th budget and business meeting.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. This is the time set aside for public comment. Public comment the public comment period is for any item that's not on the agenda this evening. Would anybody like to address the board on an item not on the agenda this evening? Seeing none. Also, I would like to announce that prior to this meeting, the Board of Supervisors met in executive session and will do so again following to discuss personnel matters. Chairman and board member comments. Board members, Happy New Year. Any comments?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Boy, are we glad to have a new year after what happened last year. So, okay, manager's report. Mr. Godshall,
I have nothing to report this evening.
one of your best reports ever.
You don't want to report on that suit?
I learned my lesson.
Do you want to come up here and model so the folks at home can? Oh, okay.
Her response was, oh my.
Leanne, I think we know what our Facebook post is tomorrow.
I think we could start a new series.
Oh, no.
I understand Barnum and Bailey's hiring.
Oh. Well, before we get totally out of control, we do actually have several items of new business that we need to take care of, beginning with the need to ratify the declaration of emergency that the township manager declared. And this would be why does it say action to ratify declaration 2002? Oh, this is the second emergency declaration of 2020?
Correct.
The first was the COVID crisis,
Correct,
right?
yep.
Okay,
That's correct. Yep.
so, and of course, this pertains to,
The snowstorm that occurred on December 16th. Yes, this is a rather routine action by the board to just merely ratify the declaration that I put into place on that date.
okay. Is there a motion to ratify the declaration of emergency by the township manager?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we approve the ratifying Declaration 20-02, authorizing the township manager to declare a local disaster emergency.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. We now need to take action on Resolution 21-01, appointing a certified public accountant to audit funds for the Lower Paxton Township for the 2020 fiscal year. Mr. Godshall.
Yes, sir. Members of the board, thank you very much. The township is currently in its second year of a 3-year contract with Brown, Schultz, Sheridan, and Fritz to provide professional auditing services. Under this contract, the firm will audit the township and the township authority accounts for the 2020 fiscal year for a total amount of $41,200, of which $25,750 is for the township, and the remaining $15,450 is for the authority accounts. The board is required by code to annually adopt a resolution appointing a certified public accountant to audit township funds, and this resolution allows that to occur.
Okay. Do we have a motion on Resolution 21-01?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve Resolution 21-01, appointing an auditor, as stated by Mr. Gottschall.
So moved. Is there a second? Second. Moved and seconded. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Now we move to the annual, always exciting junkyard license renewal. The Mid-Atlantic Automotive Recovery Services, we are required every year to do this. How many years have we been doing this, Steve? This like 30, yes. Would somebody like to make a motion to renew the junkyard license, the junkyard license?
I just have one question. Steve, we just have the one junkyard, right, in the township?
That would be
Okay.
a salvage yard.
A salvage
salvage
yard?
yard.
That's an
Instead of a
upper-class junkyard.
Yeah.
That's,
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we approve Mid-Atlantic Automotive Recovery Services, hate to say this, junkyard license renewal.
so moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, aye? Aye. This takes us to the time on the agenda where we deal with subdivision and land development. And we have really one item. We need to take action on a preliminary and final subdivision plan for Autumn Oaks Phase 4. This would be Plan 2020-19. And let's see if I can get this up on the screen here. And so, Mr. Godshaw, are you leading us through this since I do not see Amanda?
Sure, yeah, Mrs. Zerby couldn't make it this evening, but I will quick give a reading of the memo here, and also a representative, I believe, of
Yes.
the applicant is
If
here
you'd
as
like
well.
to come to the podium, please.
So the final subdivision plan for Autumn Oaks Phase 4 involves a total area of 7.7 acres to be developed in accordance with the plan. Autumn Oaks Phase 4 will consist of 16 new single-family lots and the creation of a property line to separate Open Space Lot 4 from Open Space Lot 7. The site is located in the RC, or Residential Cluster Zoning District, and will be served by public sewer and water supply. There are a number of requests, both for waivers and administrative comments that are listed here on Mrs. Zerby's memo, and I believe the board is well positioned to interrogate or otherwise act on the plan.
Okay. And if you would, for the record, give us your name and affiliation.
Good evening. My name is Tim Malott with Malott Engineering, Land Development Engineer, prepared the plan. This is the final phase of the community. We've been working on this since 2007. The reference to the open lot 7, that's going to be the Autumn Oaks Park property. I don't know if you've been out by, it's obviously been under construction, but nice big level area. I was trying to think of the name of those new courts they install, but I can't think of it. Is it
Pickleball.
Pickleball. I wanted to say that, but I'm not quite sure how you play that one yet. But other than that, everything's straightforward. We do have one waiver request that was associated with a change that we did during the Phase 3 plan process, although HRG realized that we never acted on a formal waiver, so they thought it would be appropriate for that. That was in relation to, during our Phase 3 planning, was when we had our first DEP Army Corps permitting for the Continental Drive extension, which crosses over a creek. So at that time is when we needed to evaluate what all permit is associated with the project. And we were also simultaneously working on the Patton Road culvert replacement project. And talking with staff and everybody else, we realized that it would be a better layout to actually eliminate a second stream crossing and wetland impact that would have been associated with the plan. And with that elimination of that crossing, which has many benefits I can talk to you about if you're interested, that required a minor increase in length of the cul-de-sac that's associated with Phase 4. Other than that, happy to answer any questions you might have.
Board members, do we have any questions? Or
Tim, the police comments, have they all been taken care of
Yes, I want to say. I
from the
didn't-
traffic safety unit?
Yeah, I didn't know, was there something of the substance? I thought that was just,
No, I was just wondering, because usually you don't see anything, so I just wanted to make sure.
yeah, I apologize, I didn't think. Yeah, no.
It's on
comment,
page
no.
10?
Oh, yes, we do have the parking signs for snow removal and things of that nature for the two snow removal areas.
And there was
on
something
that.
in there about the fire apparatus to move, about the island? Says to provide room
I
for-
got to be 100% honest. I never noticed that that comment was actually even there. But
Okay.
in the cul-de-sacs, which are actually a foot larger than the diameter that's even required by the ordinance, the ordinance looks for us to do a planting island in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's what he's referring to, but I mean, we're happy to remove it if that's what they're getting at, but.
Yeah, from what it's looking like, it says about the fire apparatus to move, I can't read his handwriting real good. To move
Oh,
around.
no parking signs, error, entrance, exit.
Center
Okay,
aisle.
around the, we will coordinate that, we already have the majority of it blocked off from
Okay.
parking, because we have two 30-foot wide, no emergency access, and then you had some driveways, so that's probably a cleaner parking restriction, and
Okay.
it was pretty much in place
I just
already.
wanted to make sure that the apparatus
No,
can
I,
get through there, so, okay.
I will touch base with them, and then if the board wants to make that a condition, I mean, we'll remove it if they want. It's in your ordinance for us to do it, though, so I'm not
Okay.
quite sure how you want to handle that. One thing said with that, we do make sure we construct those landscape islands in internal with slant curbing, so it's mountable in the worst-case scenario that, a wheel wants to jump the curb inside the island. But minimum 100-foot diameter turnaround, they used to be 40.
Yeah, I think they're more concerned on the signs,
Okay.
so that the apparatus, if something would be needed, it can
We'll
get
make
back
sure
there.
we post
Okay.
that entire
Okay.
cul-de-sac as no parking, the whole thing, because like I said, it's already 85% restricted. The other areas, you got driveways, so it'll probably be a cleaner signage type situation as well, so.
Thank you.
Thank you for pointing that out.
Are there any other questions? Or comments? Any public questions or comments?
Mr. Chairman, those fire issues, aren't they usually signed off by the fire marshal?
Mm-hmm.
So that has been done?
This was more with the parking signs for the fire apparatus, is what it's saying.
Yeah, like I said, this plan's been around since 2007. We're just moving forward with the plans. But happy to continue to incorporate things to improve if we can, and signage is obviously no problem whatsoever.
Okay. So would someone care to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the preliminary final subdivision plan for Autumn Oaks Phase 4, Plan 2020-19.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further questions or comments? Hearing none. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
There you
Have a
go.
good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice evening.
Too.
Okay, we now have some improvement guarantees. We have 3 from December, and then we have 1 from January so far. All appear to be routine.
Mr. Chairman, could we separate the first one from the other two, please?
Okay, I was wondering if we need to separate out Shadebrook, correct?
Yes, I would appreciate that.
Okay, could we have a motion to improve the 3 improvement guarantees excluding Shadebrook?
I'll make a motion that we approve the 3 improvement guarantees excluding Shadebrook as outlined in the 2 agenda items.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Do we have a motion to approve the Shadebrook improvement guarantee bond, actually?
I'll move that we approve the improvement guarantee establishment of a bond for Shadebrook Phase 4.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
May we have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Lindsay,
Abstain for personal reasons?
Mr. Zumas,
Aye.
Mr. Judd,
Aye.
Mr. Navarro,
Aye.
Mr. Henry.
Aye. That now takes us to the payment of bills for Lower Paxton Township and the Lower Paxton Township Authority. Mr. Treasurer.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the bills for Lower Paxton Township and the Lower Paxton Township Authority.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, are there any additional announcements?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Mid-Atlantic used to be up here on Route 22, and since they moved, does anybody know where they are now? Are they still
Blue
in the
Ridge?
township?
Blue Ridge. Oh, that's Mars?
That's Mid-Atlantic, M-A-R, Mid-Atlantic
Well,
Recovery.
yeah, I don't know where they're at, just the junkyards on Blue Ridge.
The junkyards on Blue Ridge?
Yeah, junkyards on Blue Ridge. I don't know where Mars is at.
Any other questions? Okay, the board will meet again next week on Tuesday, and that would be January 12th already, my heavens. January 12th at 7 PM for a workshop meeting. Any other comments from board members? Seeing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved, is there a second? Second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
In the room, in the